Shalom, first and foremost, all praises and glories unto Yahweh, Bahashim Yahushua, Bahashim Rakakodash, double honors to the apostles and the elders and the elder bishop of the great millstone who teach and rule well, and greetings, salutations, blessings, and much love unto you, hopeful elect out there. Shalom. Brush quiet with a video here. And I saw brother send this through the chat. I did the video, but technical difficulties, blah blah blah. And so I'm gonna do it again now. What I didn't understand was the movie Robocop. It was just a caption that I had done before. It was like a screenshot. Now here's the actual article, and it says here, "What we have learned nothing from Robocop," as a question. Have we learned nothing from Robocop? Right? And this is from Engadget. It says San Francisco police seek permission for its robots to use deadly force, and we know that we've seen it in New York. They've been using these robots. It was the robot dogs. We see that they were speaking about it in, I believe it was Chicago, or some parts of Illinois, something to that effect. All right, and then through the spirit, or coincidence, if you believe that, all right, the movie Robocop was on, and I watched it before I saw this article, so I figured I would redo the video with this article and go into Robocop a little bit. But look at this, man. Look at this. Bear with me one second. Let's see if I can find that screenshot again. All right, this was the original screen shot or whatever you want to call it that I had, right? And then in between that, I saw I was watching TV or something, and Pluto, I believe it was, a free TV app or whatever. The movie Robocop came on, which is, growing up, one of my favorite movies. A lot of comical scenes, a lot of brutal, very interesting, right? And as you see it, for you that know the movie, or you that may not know the movie, we all know the Motor City and how these American car companies were there, and it kind of collapsed, and the city went under, and blah 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 blah. They went overseas with the cars, the history of it, right? I didn't go deep into the history of understanding it, but it turned the city upside down, and crime was rampant. All right, and to the point that the police force was overworked, which we saw years ago now, that city, even major parts of that state, have been suffering ever since. Okay, when I first came into the truth years ago, we really were just beginning to put out videos, by permission of the apostles. I did a video called Prophecy of Old Detroit, and it was talking about the financial collapse of Detroit. People were going in houses and taking out copper and selling it, and all of this stuff, even business people. But bigger was the fact that government agencies were going to be down to 20%, so they wasn't picking up garbage. Police wasn't coming out for any little call. All these situations going on. And so in the movie, they were sending out RoboCops. Well, they had a robotic police force because the police were overworked, and the criminals were just getting more and more violent. All right, so let's go back to the movie. Okay, so in the movie, we all kind of see it here. All right, little few footage shots, and very entertaining movie, very very violent movie. For 1987, it was a very violent movie. Good movie though. I mean, good movie, right? It says in a violent, near apocalyptic Detroit, and the place looked in 1987 looked like it was apocalyptic, but they didn't really give. I don't recall the year that it was supposed to be set in. I don't recall that, but in it, I mean, is it art imitating life, or life imitating art? Which looks like art imitating life, because now, not even that we're talking about Detroit, but now all these liberal run cities are looking like Detroit, or old Detroit as they called it in the movie. It says evil corporation Omni Consumer Products (OCP) wins a contract from the city government to privatize the police force. To test their crime eradicating cyborgs, the company leads street cop Alex Murphy into an armed confrontation with crime lord Boddicker so they can use his body to support their untested Robocop prototype. But when Robocop learns of the company's nefarious plans, he turns on his masters. Right? So that was kind of the premise of the movie. Well, what do we think is going to happen? Some of the actors or whatever. But what do we think is going to happen in San Francisco? Okay, what do we think is going to happen? Yeah, the cops, like the governor said, don't even, Newsom was like, don't even come to LA. We can't protect you. You know, you go to the Bay Area, and I mean, it looks like Skid Row up there. I mean, all parts of this country is going to shit. It's collapsing right before our eyes. Homeless people everywhere, panhandlers, and so on and so forth. Criminals running rampant. Okay, and the question here: what have we learned? Excuse me, we keep reading it wrong. Have we learned nothing from RoboCop? The first thing they showed a robot in the movie, you know, one of their robot cops in the movie was the Ed 209, and he killed the guy off the top. And spoiler alert, so to speak, but in that scene, it was just the fact that he was programmed to do that. Like he said, put the gun down. I put the gun down, like the officer says. But it was supposed to be a malfunction. So what do you think is going to happen when these things malfunction? Okay, and we've seen another movie that did that. But I'm going to read this little bit of this article. It says the San Francisco Police Department is currently petitioning the city's board of supervisors for permission to deploy robots to kill suspects that law enforcement deems a sufficient threat that the risk of loss of life to members of the public or officers is imminent and outweighs any other force option available to SFPD. So they get to deem it. They get to draw the line and confusion come to conclusion of who is a suspect that law enforcement deems a sufficient threat. Okay, so they get to judge it. Now we've seen a bunch of unarmed Jakes getting killed out there. All right, but so how far is this willing to go? In the movie, it was just that, man. He killed the guy, and then they moved on to a different design because the guy got killed. That's where the RoboCop versus the 209 came to play. Okay, well, when you see what this robot looks like, man, what do you think is gonna happen? We told y'all back in the day with Boston Dynamics and so on and so forth, and these robot dogs and the things that they can do, climbing stairs and jumping and flipping and dancing and doing all these things. We told y'all you can see that this can just be outfitted with anything. Okay, with a basket to carry things, or with the extremes, right? Or with guns or military lasers or something. Okay, that's what this is what we're coming up against in these times. Okay, what do you think, for you that's in the know of the scriptures, what do you think the spiritual power is going to be needed for? To go hand-to-hand combat with men? Sounds cool, but how much cooler does it sound? I'm just saying the word cooler. To have to go up against robots. How much more necessary, should I say, but to go up against robots? Okay, things that can't be explained. And there's so many movies of the same thing. Another one where robots went rogue was iRobot. But as we know, if anybody's paying close attention to the movie, they were one way when they were just regular, but then when that red light came on, it's like a different program had went into it, and they became evil type robots, almost like an army. Another robotic army movie, as I brought out at camp yesterday, was Order 66. When the Emperor executed Order 66 and ignited all those clones to become an army. okay, and they were used against the Republic instead of for the Republic, something to that effect. I barely remember. I'm sure you people that love those movies are into that. All right, but we see this coming down and happening. This is not a science fiction movie anymore. These possibilities aren't just fantasies of people seeing. Oh, this is a reality now. This is a reality, and if in like the cops were having a discussion in the movie RoboCop, hey man, we're getting creamed. We need help, but then they were kind of jealous that RoboCop was in there um, cleaning the streets up, doing their jobs, and they were going on strike. The police was about to strike. Now, the scene that I noticed the other day, that you're younger watching these movies, you don't catch, but as you get older and more mature, you understand. He said, "With RoboCop on the streets, RoboCop will have the streets of Detroit cleaned up within 40 days." And then they showed him go out in one night and kill, not just and kill a bunch of guys. He shot one guy in the crotch. He shot another. He apprehended another one. He knocked a hostage situation, snatched him through the wall, and punched him out the window. He killed these guys robbing the store. Like this is the brutal situation that we're coming into. Okay, this is the brutal situation that we're coming to. All hell's about to break loose, and it's gonna be the time of Jacob's trouble. You think that the government isn't gonna have an answer for the chaos that's going on? He's just gonna send human troops. We saw, as we mentioned at camp, we saw Jake out there. I'm just saying, Jake dancing in front of cops, pop locking, freestyling, women twerking and shit in front of police. Police cracking smiles with that human element, man. They're not playing. They're gonna remove the human element and have cops be replaced with robots, man. All right, and we see it a mile away. What are you people gonna do with your ARs that they're trying to take away now, with your rifles, with your handguns, or whatever you got? What are you gonna do against something like this? All right. I had a discussion with some family members a little while back, and they was getting all riled up about, yeah man, I'm standing with black and this and this and that. Yeah, that's cool, but what you gonna do about this? You don't have enough firepower to stop a fucking 6-pack country white dude, man, in a pickup truck. This dude's got a fucking armory worth of guns at his house. How you gonna stop him? And his kids can shoot. Little girl been shooting since she was 6 years old. Son's been hunting with him since before they could, since they could barely walk. So how are you gonna stop it like that? You gotta have the spirit of Yahweh Shem Yahushua. All right, and I'm gonna just basically read these few precepts. Matter of fact, before I go there, let's go to this one. All right, just to show you that we understand what's coming. You people have no clue what's coming. 2 Corinthians chapter 2 verse 11. Lest Satan should get an advantage of us, for we are not ignorant of his devices, his schemes. Why does he want to remove the human element? Because we are a compassionate people. Talking about you Israelites, you Jace, you so-called Negro, Latino, Native Americans. Okay, we're naturally a compassionate people. Okay, we don't want to hurt everybody, but this other man, he's not created that way. So the righteous is more excellent than his neighbor, but the ways of the wicked seduce him. All right, the spirit that's in him, that is how does it go? The spirit that is lifted up in him is not right in him. Something to that effect. The righteous is more excellent than his neighbor. I'm mixing them up, but the point being, we're different than our enemies. Okay, we have a different spirit compared to our enemies, particularly our evil twin brother Esau, man. Okay, who runs this whole world in this beast system. Hey, there has to be penalties for you in this beast system. They have to execute if you get out of line in this beast system. And they're preparing to have the technology ready to do those things. All right? One of these robots go rogue, man, and say they're ran by battery or something. You gotta hope that thing the battery dies out before it stops killing. Like brothers was mentioning, there's all types of cyborg movies, Robocop, Terminator. It's going on. The list goes on and on. Shit, Short Circuit for y'all that remember that family movie. They were military grade killer, weapons, man. Okay, in the whole movie, he talked about he was alive, but he had a laser on his back. That can kill. All right, so you got to understand, man. This is not a game. This is 2022, and this is the times we're really living in. Without faith, man, you're not gonna make it very far in this life as it's being set up. This great reset, this NWO, you're not gonna go very far. Now, let's get to the point. I don't want to just go on and on about. Matter of fact, I am gonna grab this one though. It's like around here somewhere. Let me see. Yeah, let's see. Salakia. No, where's the one I want? Bear with me. This came up. No, right there. Yeah, I had it right. Matthew chapter 24, verse 21. And there shall be great tribulation, such as was not since the beginning of the world to this time, no, nor ever shall be. Okay? This is about to become, not yet, but it will be the worst time ever in world history. Understand that. And this is also going to coincide with the time of Jacob's trouble. So you Israelites, you so-called Negro, Latino, Native Americans, that's all of you. Not just the ones that believe they're Israelites, all of us. Okay? If you believe in Wakanda, if you believe in Black Power, whatever you believe, Kemet, Christianity, if you love white men or whatever, their religions and whatever they believe, and money, and it's gonna come down on all of us. Understand this. Okay? Even you think there's some people that believe in this NWO system, you think they're not gonna get touched by this? Everybody gonna have to deal with this, okay? Said, except those days should be shortened, there should no flesh be saved, but for the elect's sake, those days shall be shortened, man. Okay? So let's get to Esdras. Second Esdras, particularly Second Esdras chapter. Start at 15. 14 is good. It says, woe to the world and them that dwell therein. For the sword and their destruction draweth nigh, and these are being used as swords, killing instruments, okay? These robots aren't just going to be there to help move pallets and work in the warehouse for you. They're also going to be outfitted as weapons, okay? And the destruction draweth nigh, and one people shall stand up to fight against another, and swords in their hands, okay? Modern day sword is a gun. And how much more powerful is that gun if you can put a gun or a weapon attached onto a robot and control the robot? But you get to set, as they said here, but they get to deem a sufficient threat that the risk of loss of life to members of the public or officers is imminent. They get to deem it, okay? And they're just people like you and me. But that heartless, cold spirit, as I said in Matthew 24, I didn't read it, okay, it's coming upon the earth. The love of many shall wax cold. That human quality, one man for another, man, that's pretty much gone. Every man for himself. And social media is boosting that as well, okay? So for there shall be sedition among men and invading one another. All right, let's see if they let me pick that word up. They not. Let me see.
Definition of sedition: conduct or speech inciting people to rebel against the authority of a state or monarch.
Okay, so everybody's coming up against the government. I just watched the video, so it looked like a pie. somebody threw a pie in the face of Billy G. Okay, which we should know who that guy is. The guy pushing the VAX and so many other things. Okay, and another word that will come up, I'll try to get it right quick, is insurrection. Okay, it says the violent uprising against an authority or government. Okay, this is coming. So you think they're just going to let the people just come up and burn the city down by hand? No, it's going to have to go back and forth. What do you think martial law is coming from? Okay, martial law is happening. That's what I was just reading. Let's go back. All right, verse 16, it says, "For there shall be sedition among men and invading one another. They shall not regard their kings nor princes. Positions in the earth and in society are going to mean nothing. You're just going to be human and you can be killed. And the course of their actions shall stand in power." And people are going to go after these officials, man. They're going to go after president. They're going to go after, like the lady almost got smoked with the gun jammed down in South America. Okay, things like that are happening. A man shall desire to go into a city and shall not be able. Why? Because there may be a tank or an army of these police robots with outfitted to kill. Look, it got the camera so they can see. You ain't gonna be able to go that way. Okay, for because of their pride, the cities shall be troubled, the houses shall be destroyed, and men shall be afraid. A man shall have no pity upon his neighbor, but shall destroy their houses with the sword and spoil their goods because of the lack of bread and for great tribulation. Okay? Can't get to the store, got no money, didn't get the chip or whatever's going on, so you're going to run in the next man's house. This is things that are going to go on in these days. Jump over to the 16th chapter. All right, let's jump up or jump down, if you will. Yeah, we ain't getting into that. Verse 17, woe is me, woe is me. Who will deliver me in those days? The beginning of sorrows and great mourning, the beginning of famine and great death, the beginning of wars, and the power shall stand in fear, the beginning of evils. What shall I do when these evils shall come? What you gonna do with a robot like that, man? All right, and it's more than that. Famine, war, plague, great death. Okay, these things are gonna happen in the earth. There's people croaking over now. Okay, we're watching it. It says, behold, famine and plague, tribulation and anguish are sent as scourges for a minute. And our people are not paying attention, not enough of our people are paying attention to what's actually happening in the earth and what's being set up right before your eyes. You're too busy worried about these rap songs and rap videos and what Offset and this and that, and man, who cares? Or Takeoff or whatever his name. Okay? People ain't paying close enough attention and partying and eating turkey and cranberry sauce and not even understanding what the times that we're living in. Like I said, those same family members and friends that I brought up, that they said they had guns and blah 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 blah. All right, I said, hey, what you gonna do when they got these things out there? The same ones partying up, high fiving, sitting around, praying over a turkey and stuffing the cranberry sauce, man. Okay, can't wait till get Christmas, and then they can't wait for their income tax to come around, so they can make moves in the earth and get them. Man, I'm trying to tell you, okay, that whole mentality is a dead mentality. Okay, they still trying to get rich, and the system's collapsing, man. The monetary system is collapsing. Nobody in the world really wants to fuck with America, man. Nobody really wants to do it. Some people like China are so deep into a relationship, a monetary relationship with America, they don't really want to cut ties and lose out on that money, but they're at the edge. Okay? And then they see an enemy of America, places like Russia, doing good deals. Now they do have a war going on, but they're doing good square business deals. And they got gold to back their money. They're not just printing out, hyperinflating the money. All right? Now, let's just get to the 23 real quick. And the dead shall be cast out as dung because that's how frequent the killing is going to be. And there shall be no man to comfort them, for the earth shall be wasted, and the cities shall be cast down. There shall be no man left to till the earth and to sow it. People are going to be falling off, whether it's pestilence, whether it's starvation and famine, or just being killed in the streets, man, by another human or by a robot. You can name all these so-called science fiction movies, the Minority Reports, all this where they're using this technology, drones and so on and so forth, okay, to execute the things they need. It was even in the Purge movies, okay? Jump down, man. I get to the point. Like I said, I always like to start up at 67. Because it gave you the answer, so you could read it, but I'm going to jump past it this time. So, for behold, the burning wrath of a great multitude is kindled over you. Read it again. Behold, the burning wrath of a great multitude is kindled over you, and they shall take. So what you going to do? You're going to stand down and hope that they just apprehend you, because they can just unload on you, right? It says, and they shall take away certain of you, and feed you, being idle with things offered unto idols. And they that consent unto them shall be had in derision and in reproach and trodden under foot. So if you don't understand, or you don't rebel, and you consent and take the mark, the C hip, okay, if you take that in your body, man, you're gonna be had in derision and trodden under foot. It says, for there shall be in every place and in the next cities a great insurrection. That's why we brought it up. That's why I brought up the definition. Upon those that fear the Lord, a uprising against the government. Upon those that fear the Lord. Okay? So they're going to come and get the prophets, man. They're going to come and get the believers. They're going to follow you right through your IP address. They're going to follow you right to your home address. Okay? You've been watching this. You've been following this. We're seeing Haman in the reincarnation giving them all the info on it. Okay, showing you who you are. Is just a few programs that they have to hone in on and find out who's who. But eventually they're just going to blanket it. So whether you believe in this or not, it's still coming for you. Okay, so get your little 45 or your little 9 millimeter or whatever you people got out there to combat this. But you tell me, if you've seen any of those science fiction movies, you tell me, did any of those regular old guns do anything against them robots? Particularly when you watch a movie like Robocop. The opening scene at the where Robocop was really on the streets doing business, okay, this was the liquor store hold up. Guy robbing the store, he came in with the machine gun, fuck you, and it was just unloading on him, and it meant absolute bullets bounced off of him like it was nothing. What do you think is going to happen when they got titanium, they got a bicarbon weave, and they got all this stuff, man? Kevlar, they got all this stuff to their disposal, and an unlimited amount of money and supply to put these things together to forward their agenda. Okay? It says, they shall be like madmen, sparing none. And we believe that could be a human mentality. Yeah, that'll turn. These troops will be cold-hearted like that too. These UN troops, these Gurkha troops, and so on and so forth. But robots fit that as well. They don't. As I quoted as I quoted Reese in Terminator, it can't be bargained with. It can't be reasoned with. They don't feel pain or fear or pity or remorse, and they absolutely will not stop until you are dead. Hey, that's a robot mentality, man. Even the Matrix movies have that Sentinel situation in there. Okay? Their job is just what they're programmed to do with an inhumane mode of operation. All right? It says, they shall be like madmen, sparing none, but still spoiling and destroying those that fear the Lord. For they shall waste and take away their goods and cast them out of their houses. And this is the important part. Then shall they be known who are my chosen, and they shall be tried as gold in the fire. To have, if you have that faith, and do you believe? Have you been doing have your works proven your faith by whereby you have believed. Okay, O you my beloved, saith the Lord, the days of trouble are at hand, but I will deliver you from the same. Be ye not afraid, neither doubt, for the Most High is your guide, and a guide to them who keep my commandments and precepts, saith the Lord. Let not your sins weigh you down, and let not your iniquity lift up themselves. So I'll jump back up to 67. Behold, the Most High himself is the judge. Fear him, leave off from your sins, and forget your iniquity, to meddle no more with them forever. So shall the Most High lead you forth and deliver you from all trouble. Okay, so I'm going to close there. Lord willing, this was edifying, giving all praises and glories unto Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushua, Ba'ashem Arakakudash. Double honor to the apostles and the elders of the great millstone. Greetings, salutations, and much love unto you. To the next one. Shalom.